Hey, we're back. This is Chris Spiker. Next guest, Ashley Cortez and Josh Mann from Waste Management.
Yay!
Hey, hello.
Thanks for having us, Chris.
Oh, you bet. You got a great video out, Ashley.
Yes, on Facebook we're just trying to get the word out. You know, now more than ever, it's so important for everyone to get on this recycling train. You know, we kind of are getting away from the basics, so we're just trying to get that reminder out there.
Things are so good we don't have to recycle anymore, right?
No.
Quite the opposite. Quite the opposite. In fact, recently we've been doing some research, and it looks like about 25% of what ends up in the recycling container is actually trash.
25%. So that means 75% is supposed to be in there.
Yes. So we're doing 75%, which I mean that's a middle C.
Yeah.
But to get to an A grade, we got to get that other 25%.
Do you think color blindness has anything to do with this? What color can? What does it say on the side?
Yeah.
I know, and there's little icons on the trash cans at home that tell you,
Yeah.
you know, so.
My kids up in Seattle, I mean, they got pictures on top of it. Is that the way it is?
Yep, yeah, and that's most of our new educational materials for recycling. We've gone to pictures.
Yeah.
I try and get over the hurdles that may be out there, whether it's language barrier or cultural barrier or I have no idea what recycling is barrier.
Yeah.
It's really kind of a match the picture up with what you got in your hand, and that's what's recyclable. So.
It's a can. Okay, looking at the pictures. I was thinking this morning as I'm pulling out of the driveway, isn't it amazing that we put our trash out on the curb? I mean, shouldn't somebody be doing that for us?
No.
Wow.
Yeah, it's
Like honk the horn, I'll bring it out.
There you go. There you go. It gets you out early in the morning, right?
Yeah.
A little exercise.
Well, I tell you, if we didn't have an organized system, this would be a mess. If we didn't have somebody that showed up at the same time every week and took away our stuff that we didn't want anymore.
Yeah, and really, from waste management standpoint, we want to make it as easy as possible on the customer. We know that they got a lot of important things that they got to get to in their day, so we try and make the process as simple as possible. We're doing that through the use of technology. We've launched new websites for our communities, so both Lancaster and Palmdale, whether you're a business owner or a resident, we've got a website out there that's set up directly with your services, so you go to that page and find the information specific to your service, and just trying to make it easier for people to take advantage of getting their trash taken out or their recycling picked up or their bulky item or requesting a new card.
They can do that from their phone now
Yeah.
too, so you don't even have to go on your computer. You can just have it on an app and you can just do all your stuff from there as well.
Well, hey, what are you doing? Oh, I'm adjusting my trash pickup. So in the video, you talk about crushing cardboard. Why do you have to crush cardboard?
Because if you're putting in whole boxes, then you're taking up more space in the can. So then we get into issues where if people want to put more recyclables in there, they can't because it's all these boxes that aren't broken down, and then we get into overages, which we don't want to get into. We want to make as much room for the recyclables as we can. So by breaking them down and flattening them, and it's very important, I see that a lot out in my visits, is that it just looks like it's completely full, but if they would just break it down, they'd be maybe at half of what they could have put in there.
Yeah, trash management. It's very important in my flower shop, you know, and I'm kind of like the warden of the whole alley, as you know.
Oh yeah.
And so I try to help my other neighbors,
Mm-hmm.
you know, use the right can and close it up, keep the birds out, right?
Yes.
Those birds get in there and they start.
Yeah, if you can't close it, it just opens up a whole other issues, especially out here with the crows and everything.
Wind,
yeah,
yeah.
the wind. But just a few items that I wanted to go over that people might not know, like just from being in this industry recently. Cardboard boxes. Okay, so a pizza box. People automatically assume, yeah, it's cardboard, we're going to put it in the recycle.
However,
but it has grease on it, so
Yeah.
therefore it's contaminated. We cannot use it. It's food soiled material. So do not put greasy cardboard boxes into your recycling container because they just get pulled out and they can't get recycled anyway. Another one is the water. When you go and buy a case of water, you know, at Costco or the grocery store, people want to put that covering, the plastic covering, in the recycle.
it's a big piece of plastic.
Right,
However,
and it does say on there, recycle me, but with our processing systems, it gets tangled in the machines, stops what people are doing, holds it up while they untangle it,
Jeez.
and then it messes up the process and slows things down. So that's why it's important to keep those out too. And so you just put those in the trash.
How about when I pour oil into my engine? And what do I do with that plastic container that's full of oil?
So you'd want to...
Not full of oil, but it has oil remnants. That's like trash.
Well, and this is where
Yeah.
I want to get people to err on the side of caution.
Yes.
If you don't end up using all of that oil,
Uh-huh.
really should go to a household hazardous waste
Right.
collection center. So we operate the AVECC in Palmdale at our facility. It's open the first and third Saturdays of the month from 9 to 3. So that's where you would take that either unused or used motor oil, filters.
Now they have a minimum on what you can bring in there? They
The
want you to bring just a truckload
the limit, I believe, is 125 pounds per visit. So
on the maximum side.
yes,
But
yeah.
if you just had that half a quart of oil, you didn't want anymore.
You could just drive. It's a drive-through. You can just
Gotcha.
hand it to the guy.
It's fast,
Yeah.
not very many questions.
No, you fill out a little survey for the
Yeah.
county,
Yeah.
but really easy for getting rid of your electronic waste, your CFL light bulbs,
paint.
paint, other chemicals. So things like pesticides and cleaners. They'll take that for free if you're a resident here in the Antelope Valley, the first and third Saturdays of the month.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's very cool.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know about that,
Right.
so they should use it. Like, cause things are just sitting around the house, batteries, stuff like that.
Right.
Just bring them.
And you can't think of it as it's so inconvenient. Let's see, is this a first or a third Saturday? Come on, really? Plan for these things. Put it on the calendar. Put it on your phone. Right?
Yeah. Do you have
So,
a calendar on there?
what's going on? Do you guys still have the robot when you go out? That little trash can
Oh.
sparking?
Yeah.
Was that
Unfortunately,
you in there?
No,
Oh.
no, yeah. Unfortunately, we retired the robot, got up there in age, but we are still out there doing the assemblies and the programs for both students and adults. I recently spoke at a Rotary Club, so trying to get the word out about establishing good recycling habits and how to make best use of all the amenities that you get with having Waste Management as your service provider. So.
No needles. So what do we do with needles and that sort of?
Oh yeah, so sharps. So I know that we have diabetic folks out here in the Antelope Valley. They're doing their regular testing and/or insulin injections. We have a couple of options for that. In terms of if you're homebound, we have a mailback container program. So you
Wow.
call into customer service. We'll mail you a container if you're a Waste Management customer at no charge.
Wow.
Otherwise, we do have drop-off sites at our police stations, our sheriff stations, as well as our facility in Palmdale. I'll be glad to take those at no charge.
Ashley, how did
See?
you get involved in this?
I know.
How did you get
I'm
involved
trying
in
to
this?
make my community a more sustainable place to live.
Uh-huh.
No, but I mean, I'm really enjoying it. You know, being in the, seeing how trash is, like how complex it is just crazy. I wish we could shout it from the hilltops of how important it is, because I didn't realize until I started working with Waste Management, you know, how what I do affects everything. What I put in my trash can every day is affecting so many other components of day-to-day life, and you don't realize that until you work here in this industry and see. And I'm just really trying to push people to just get back to recycling the way it should be, because our industry is changing. Recyclables are just, we're seeing a lot of changes with China and the way we do business. So it's just, we need to go to the source, which is our residents and our community members, and just getting them to recycle the right way.
So it's what, reduce the 3 R's?
That's right.
Is this old stuff or is it
No,
just
no,
coming
no,
to
it's
the?
still-
Okay.
Yeah, definitely. We talk about what people can do. Certainly reduce the amount of waste they create. That's the best way. Reuse those materials that they can reuse, whether that's containers,
Old flower vases.
old flower vases. That's right.
Mhm.
Take those to your favorite Antelope Valley florist floor shop. So.
Yeah, and I get that all the time. It's crazy.
Oh, you do?
I mean, like Like every other day, somebody brings a bag of vases in. Can you use these? We give you a credit, you know. Oh no, just because they're looking at this piece of glass. They're
Yeah.
going, can't throw it away.
Yeah, it still has use, and that's what we want people to get in the mindset. And then if it can be recycled, make that effort, get it to a recycling container. You know, a lot of the materials that we collect, they end up being your next cereal box, your next park bench, but you got to get it in the right bin, and you got to recycle it the right way. Empty out that liquid, and get rid of that food waste. And
Make sure it's your bin, by the way, when you're done, when you're putting it in a bin. Make sure it's your bin.
And no plastic bags either. Make sure you're taking those back to your local grocery store to reuse them.
Right, yeah,
Very
because
important.
imagine the day they say, okay, no more bags are gonna be made, and then you're going, you'd be scrambling.
Mm-hmm.
I go out to that chain link fence out there by the landfill. The time we took the tour, there were people out there pulling the bags off the fence. Man, it just
Yeah.
never ends, does it?
yeah, well, it just and getting people cognizant. I mean, the landfill tour is a great opportunity for student groups, your community groups to see how our facility operates. Both in Lancaster and Palmdale, we offer those tours at no charge to really understand how landfill really works on a day-to-day basis, and also be mindful of what they're putting in their containers and where it ends up. Obviously, plastic bags do get caught up in the wind, and
Yeah.
we have a lot of open desert.
We have some wind too.
A little bit.
We're still thinking about an AV Nice video. You mentioned it.
Of course, love to have you out. Really great opportunity to share with the world how AV Nice waste management is here in the Antelope Valley.
I love it. So we've been talking with the folks from Waste Management, Ashley Cortez and Josh Mann. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
bet.